Yo, what do y'all think about the Glorilla featuring Kirk Franklin, Maverick City, and Kierra Sheard? Now, I did write some notes. I had some stuff I wanted to say. I just didn't want to come off the hip with this because I didn't want to be misunderstood. And plus, I really had to write down, like, how do I really feel about this? Because when I originally saw it, I did feel a certain way about it, but then I had to ask myself, like, why? Like, why do I feel how I feel about this? And so I got, I got into the details with it. I got into the context in which we know context is key. Yep. So the reasons I have an issue with it, let me just say up front, is not because of Glorilla. This has nothing to do with Glorilla. I think Glorilla she seems like a joyful person. Every time I see her on Instagram, on social media, anywhere, she always got a smile on her face, doing what she do, representing Memphis, representing the town. So I don't have the issue. I don't have with this particular song has nothing to do with Glorilla. It has all to do with Kirk Franklin, Maverick City, and Kierra Sheard. So I want to make that clear. And so I actually have 4 issues with the song. Okay, so the first issue I want to get into is the timing of it all, right? So the timing of it, let me break it down. Glorilla is a female rapper. We know, of course, she's in her prime, and her music is trendy and popular, especially to black culture, which means it's ratchet and hypersexual. She was on Club Shay Shay's podcast about 6 months ago, saying she loves making the music she currently makes. She's young and having fun doing it, but she did say she is open in the future for her music to mature, but maybe when she's like 30 or something like that, right? So this goes into the timing piece because someone as seasoned, or as we look at or perceive as seasoned as is a Kirk Franklin and Maverick City and Kierra Sheard, willing to do music with an artist that has been on record saying she has no intent or short-term plans to change the content of her music, to me is suspect, right? And every secular artist is not created equal. Let's just say that out loud, right? Like every secular artist is not created equal. There's a difference between a Common, a Big Crit, a Nas, a K Dot, Lupe Fiasco, Rhapsody, Killer Mike, and others like them than say like a Sexy Red or a Glorilla. Like to align yourself as you're the type of artist that you are, as far as Kiki Sheard, Maverick City, and Kirk Franklin, to align yourself with Glorilla musically right now, in the prime of her career, doesn't seem wise as a gospel artist. Like even when you look at, I believe Mary had a feature with David Banner back in the day. I think they got some backlash for that. But even during that time, like David Banner was older in his career. He was progressing as a person, as a man. He was publicly kind of out loud of changing some things, or out loud about being more spiritual, or out loud being more heavily trying to be more involved in Christianity and stuff like that, changes stuff around. But then as we saw, like, he kind of backtracked or just kind of went another way later on. But during the prime of his career, like, I don't think Mary or somebody like that probably would have touched David Banner at that particular time because of the content and the vulgarity of his music. So and when you see other Christian artists or people like Lecrae is got with Ty Dolla $ign, Big Crit, and a couple other people that I can't think about right now, but it seems that he's more calculated in who he gets as far as musically or music artists and stuff like that. I just think that Glorilla, like, given she's the hometown, but her music is pretty ratchet and hypersexual. So to align yourself with that right now, it's questionable at the very least. It's questionable at the very least. And plus, I believe there are other ways to collaborate, right? Collaborate to be friendly, to be a light in someone's life, other than to make music with them for the masses to consume and critique. You can build with them. You can build with people behind closed doors without the eyes of millions of people watching you. Because music is not a podcast. Like in a podcast, you can get deep into a conversation. You can get a lot of context. You can check body language. It's a extended platform. So it's just not a snapshot of stuff. And so a song is not a conversation. A song is pretty much a statement at the end of the day, and a short one at that. And a statement without context can give off mixed signals, and people rightly can make negative assumptions given the information that's available. To me, that's the timing of it all was off to me. It was too soon to do it. Now, the second reason I had an issue with it is because it's just typical, right? I said it's typical. Like these type of features aren't innovative anymore. They're typical. Like nowadays, especially from the people on the song, Kirk Franklin and Maverick City, they're known to collab with whoever's hot, trendy, and or artists looking for a redemption narrative. I don't know this, but just from the outside looking in, it looks like they'll collab with anybody if it has a positive message, no cussing, and the check clears. Like they don't seem to care much about biblical appearance. Meaning, when I say biblical appearance, I'm meaning like 1 Thessalonians 5:22, right? So depending on the version you look at, it's just saying avoid all forms of evil or all appearance of evil. Or I believe in the message it says, don't be tainted by any evil. So I don't think they care much about biblical appearance or context, which that also implies that they may be in love with controversy and shock value. Like those can be idols too. Like they love to do things that break the mold, and that's fine if Yeshua says to do it. But that being their MO makes me question who they're hearing from sometimes. Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. And that goes for all of us. Does this make sense right now? Did I really hear from God, or am I doing what I've always done? These are common sense questions we all have to ask ourselves often, but the difference is many of us aren't in the public eye like they are when we have to make those decisions. So yeah, they deserve grace, and they also deserve this work. They also deserve this commentary at the same time. It's more just trying to be respectful and honest. So the third reason why I do have an issue, just the whole narrative that nobody's perfect, the nobody's perfect narrative. And you hear it a couple times on the song, I think maybe from Glorilla, but really I'm really talking about Kirk Franklin and them. So I think he actually said that when he was doing his commentary on the song. Like, this is the trap that Kirk Franklin and others use to pull in the secular audience and make everybody feel comfortable by saying that, oh, nobody's perfect. Like, we know everybody's not perfect. We experience on a daily that everybody's not perfect. Those of us who are married, we live with somebody we see up close every day that is not perfect. But it seems we use that line, especially in a song, gospel song at that, to justify our lack of self-control. Yep. By not trying, not fighting, not setting boundaries, not holding ourselves accountable for prevention. I can do whatever I want, whatever I feel, just as long as I acknowledge God along the way. Like, it's a big reason we have so much biblical illiteracy, and it's a key value in what has become American Christianity today, which makes the song blend in with culture. Like, it doesn't stand out. We already have too many mainstream gospel records supporting us in our deficiencies. And it's like, can we get a few to challenge the status quo and inspire us to go higher? Like, it's like we can't love and point people to a better way at the same time. Like, we too busy worrying about being labeled those type of Christians. We want to be so relatable that we compromise. So, and the last reason that I have an issue with the song is pretty simple. I really didn't like the record. I really didn't like the song. I listened to all the tracks, just to be fair. I listened to all the tracks. I think it was 16 of them. And the gospel track with Kurt and Maverick City and Kiki on it, like, it was probably the worst song on the album to me. If not, it was definitely probably top two. I would put the best gospel record or something in that form on the album was, I think, was the next song, and that was Glow's Prayer. You know, that one right there was probably, well, not probably, it was way better than the gospel record with Kirk Franklin and Maverick City and them on it. So just the record didn't do anything for me sonically. It was just, it was man. It was okay. It wasn't anything special or anything like that. So tell me what y'all think, man. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people have a lot of comments about it. Some people have no comments about it, but y'all let me know, man. Until next time. Salute.